All right. Hey, welcome back to the Go for CEO channel. Once again, what an incredible opportunity to meet the CEO of another incredible business. And this time jointly with a intrapreneur. So we've got a double whammy today. And I know both these ladies. I, in fact, knew them when they first started their businesses. And then one that joined and created, and I won't, bore you with everything, but I'll let them tell you the exciting side of things of how it got together. So Volles Bridal, the CEO, Suzanne, and the intrapreneur now, Victoria. And welcome to the show with Go for CEO, guys. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having us. We're really excited to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, excited to have you, two powerful ladies in business in the bridal, arena and just making some things happen. I know Volleys has an established name in the Illinois territory, but it was so cool to be a part of that beginning stage of just kind of seeing you, Suzanne, and thank you for making the time. And then, having known Victoria actually from way back, some things from my high school days and her brother, and bringing this marriage together and seeing it work has just been so, heartwarming for me. So thank you for coming on board. So, in Go for CEO, what we try to always share is just the story of the entrepreneur, the business, how you're running it, what's the marketing, what's the operations, how are you scaling, what's your next moves, and really teach people what it is that it takes to run this type of business and all different types of industries. So in this bridal arena, Suzanne, can you tell us a little bit of the story of how you came about to this position and what it took to get you there?
Yeah. So I would say quickly, I'd go all the way back to my childhood when I used to be a little neighborhood entrepreneur, and I started a little pet care business with all my neighbors. And when they went away, I would take care of their animals. And then eventually some of them had children, so it turned into a babysitting operation. So I've always had that spirit. My father and grandfather, both grandfathers were also entrepreneurs. They had their own businesses. So I watched that as well growing up. And, eventually graduated college, got into corporate America, and really was just like, I don't know that this is what I want to do full time. I'd like a little more flexibility and a little more creativity. So I met my husband, and we also have the same spirit. So we went on this adventure together. I am obviously the CEO and primary owner, but it is a partnership. And yeah, that's what kind of got us both on this journey.
And by flexibility, you meant from 9 to 5 to 20 hours a day, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely different working 20 hours a day for yourself.
Right. It is, and so empowering and it's a great status. I remember those beginning stages. I was in a different role that I am now, but seeing you guys kind of that enthusiasm and that, interest of knowing like how you're going to do it, where you're going to get the funding, what setup are you going to do for this and that and the other thing. So awesome stuff. And then we have Victoria, the intrapreneur now. You used to be your own entrepreneur, had your own boutique. And tell us a little bit about the story that made you decide, hey, look, you know what? This is the time that I want to join another institution, join forces, and really get the right type of scenario so you can become an intrapreneur.
Well, because I worked 20 plus hours a day. I had a boutique for 15 years in Chicago, and I was literally working around the clock. I love it. I love everything about it. But I actually have a design background. So when I first opened the store, I was carrying other designers and I was running, the bridal shop. And slowly, I started to introduce my own collection. And just because I worked so many hours and worked with the bride from beginning to the end, I did everything. I really was not able to focus enough on my designs. And I just thought that it would be better for me to focus not so much on the storefront end, but more on the designing end. So initially I wanted to just be a designer, in New York, but it was a little hard to get there. And that's how I opened my store. So the store was kind of like my training. And I feel that, it was time to move to the next phase after 15 years. And luckily I met Stan through you, John, and, really clicked. And, know, I really love the way that Valley sings and how I am, and we're working together so I can work on what my skill set is, and then, you know, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
and in the business end, and I'm the designing end. So that's how it's going, and it's awesome.
And I think the other benefit is along that line, my corporate background was working with a lot of creative people in advertising. So we just sort of gelled naturally.
Yeah.
We met each other, and it was love at first sight.
Yeah.
And, you know, we both obviously love. Like, we're in the bridal business, and there's nothing, you know, better to be around than people who are excited and happy about their, you know, the next phase, the next beginning in their life. So yeah, and again, to go back to that creativity plus business, I think, yeah, yeah, I think it's great that Victoria can, you know, partner with us to develop her brand and develop, you know, the marketing and develop her designs, and then she doesn't have to be weighed down with the, you know, the day-to-day, yeah, and just like worrying about paying the electric bill, you know, and those kinds of things.
I don't worry about the floral bill that goes in and down. So, you know, there's other, you know, being a designer and a business owner, they are together, but they are so separate, you know, and I think that it was a great experience, because then I can share with Suzanne, and then we can kind of like, you know, talk like her end and my end, because I'm a creative and she's a business woman. Although I am too, it's just a different mindset. So
I feel like we come at it from two different angles, even though we're both creative people. She's far more creative than I am, and we're both business people. I'm a little more with a project manager background, so, you know, I just more artistic background. So I just feel like those two things just really gel naturally. So
I love that fluidity.
Yeah, you know, like that's a challenge for a lot of artists, because it's like we don't want to know the, you know, business end all the time. I mean, we have to know it, right? But like that's not where we want to be crunching numbers all day long. We're thinking about like how we're going to make this amazing product. So that's where I can sit back now and, you know, really pay attention and zoom in and think about the bride more so than I was.
What a great lesson too, everybody. The Go for CEO channel, we learn about CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, and then intrapreneurs. So take that story for heart, you know, having your own business for 15 years, realizing that, hey, if I team up with another place that has a match of some skills that I need, boy, it could be an incredible thing. And for lifestyle and other things that really could flourish. So awesome work, ladies. I'm so excited to have you on. You know, I think of like 100 questions that I could ask, but Suzanne, let's go back to kind of those beginning stages. Why don't we walk through someone, you were corporate for a long time. You decided to buy this business. Tell us a little bit about the mindset. What were you looking for in a business? How did you strategize or analyze it? And then those beginning 30, 60, 90 days, what did that feel like?
Oh boy, that's a really good question. And it may be permanently erased from my mind. Those first 30, 60, 90. So yeah, I mean, we looked for businesses that we wanted an established business to take over, in a sense, and that had a great reputation, that had a good business model. So, you know, bridal's a great business model in that you don't have to, quote unquote, carry a lot of inventory. We work off samples, and dresses are cut to order, made to order. With Victoria, that's a whole different story, which we can get into at a later time. So we were looking for that kind of a model. And we also, you know, coming from corporate, we wanted to be in like a happy business, you know, and not that corporate's a terrible place, it's not a terrible place, but you know, it was just a lot of number crunching and a different kind of customer service. And we wanted it to be a little more individual with our own kind of flavor to it. So those were the kinds of things we were looking for. Volles was available, and it checked a lot of boxes, and was, you know, a thriving business in its own. And really the previous owners were just looking to retire, and continue the tradition. By the way, let me shout out, it is our 50th anniversary at Volles. So we're very excited about that this year, 2021. Okay, and then to the 30, 60, 90. Yeah, it was a lot of learning, very quickly, like learning the staff, understanding the ins and outs of exactly what happens every day. You know, you can read books, you can watch YouTube, you can look at a lot of things, but until, for me especially, until I'm living it and breathing it and, you know, all those things, it takes a little bit of more time to kind of adjust and learn what the pivots are and learn what the efficiencies are. And we also wanted to, you know, grow and expand the business. So we found, you know, we were looking for efficiencies and how things were run before and how we can make it better. And with an established business, you can be very dependent on your reputation. So you get a little laissez-faire, I guess is the best word. And you just assume everyone knows everything about you, but we really needed to affect change with our employees that way.
Wow.
Exactly.
But you said some really interesting parts there, right? Finding out efficiencies. You know, when you buy an existing business, like you said, there could be some kind of just lack of momentum, maybe in creativity, maybe, you know, 50 years, gosh, you know, you took it over a few years ago. You know, it's a long run, and maybe you're not seeing things from the forest from the trees, as an example. So tell us one or two areas that you really kind of honed in on with your background of corporate. What did you notice initially to say like, oh, okay, here's marketing, or here's employee retention, or here's, you know, benefits that we need to kind of scale up or understand a little bit better, or inventory? What were one or two areas that you really identified and said to yourself, wow, here's where I'm going to kind of sink my teeth into?
So I think the two areas were inventory and data management. So we incorporated a new system that takes a POS system. So it helps us schedule, it helps us understand who's on the schedule, what's available. You know, do we need to add somebody to a Saturday schedule because now we're fully booked and we can add someone real quick. So I would say that was huge. And that system also allows us to affect our inventory, so we can get consistent reports on what's selling, what's not selling. You know, do we really need 450 dresses? And the answer is no, you don't. So, you know, able to scale that back and really watch our numbers and get real, true, live data. Like this, we all love this dress, but this dress hasn't sold in a year and a half. So it's got to go. Like it just has to go. So that's, I think, another thing I'm able to bring with a little bit of my corporate background. I don't have quite the love affair as maybe someone who's a little more creative. So I can be a little more cruel with my inventory. But yeah, I would say those two things really were our largest pieces that affected change to the business. We've made a lot of efficiencies, and it has benefited our really our net income quite significantly.
Profitability, yes. I mean, what a huge way.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that piece of it, just to kind of share with the community. You look at the inventory, you see some inefficiency. As you said, you weren't as married to some of these pieces that maybe were just hanging around and weren't profitable. Well, what were some things that you did strategically? Did you maybe have a blowout sale? Did you start to talk to vendors? Hey, we don't need these. You know, stop sending us this. What are some strategic things that you actually executed then?
I mean, you're really getting into my dirty secrets now, right? So yeah, I mean, I think we cut back on our vendors. In the bridal business, there are some vendors that, for lack of a better term, require is the word I'm going to use, to buy a certain amount of samples. And if those samples aren't working for you, then they are no longer of value. So it was really quite an easy decision for me. Maybe not for some of my stylists, but for me, it was an easy decision. In addition, I think the bridal industry has changed very much from behind the scenes, especially now that we're post-COVID, or not post-COVID, but we're in this COVID time, where there was a lot of, well, you have to do this because we're amazing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but here are these numbers. So, you know, this just isn't a fit for us. So, what is the word I'm looking for? There can be some ego involved, I think.
Sure.
And I just, for me, again, it was just simple data. And I think a lot of these companies are understanding that, you know, bridal stores have data now, and we're working towards it.
So, you know, what I've heard already is you made an essential decision to upgrade your POS, right? Which added some functionality to your business. You added data mechanisms, you added functional tools to be able to coordinate your employees better, scheduling. You saw real kind of ammunition coming back to you to kind of analyze. And then you executed. You took that inventory, you made the decisions, you called the vendors. How cool is that? Over the first probably 90 days to 6 months, although you said you wanted to forget about it.
But yeah.
I think that probably made a huge step. So everybody, Go for CEO community, when you're purchasing an existing business, you know, one of the things that you may want to look at is analyzing those first 90 days, understanding kind of what's happening in your business like Suzanne did, and really just breaking down the numbers and then executing from there. So pretty awesome stuff. So tell us. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just want to say this. It also may take more than 90 days.
Oh,
yeah.
And I think also through those efficiencies, it makes it so much easier to partner with somebody like Victoria, because I understand the business. I know what we need. I know what we don't need. She's very willing and open and flexible as well. So we get to marry those two things as well. It's like, great, okay. This is a yes, this is a no. This is going to work for us, and this is why. So it just helps you clear your head in general.
Okay, so perfect segue here, right? Because here we go. I think 6 months to a year is what the time frame was when you then met Victoria. Tell us, Victoria, how does that journey start to then develop, and what are you seeing about Volles and about Suzanne and about this partnership about to become that really intrigued you and becoming an intrapreneur?
Yeah, well, we don't want to give away all, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I have a lot of experiences. When I first opened my store, I was carrying other designers, so I have that background as well. I know getting stuck with stock. I know sometimes, you know, fluff and there's only a couple sellers. So when I designed my collection, because I still had other designers and then I transitioned in my design, I'm able to help zoom in on what the customer wants. I come to the store a couple times during the year, or the month. Lately, I've been more COVID, not over, but you know, things are starting to move, you know, faster now. I'm able to tune in and hear, like when I had my shop, if I had a rule, like if I heard three girls say, I want a plunging V-neck, I want to fit it, I would make it. And sometimes I would be like, you know what? Let me get your name and number and I'll call you back. I'll have it ready in 2 weeks. So I can turn around a gown very quickly. So that is very awesome for a store. So, you know, the more we keep, you know, communicating and working together, you know, it's this kind of business is not something that's overnight, you know, it's like a hot dog stand and like that, everything ready to go.
Yeah.
It takes time. You have to build a good relationship and communicate well. So, you know, it's, you know, I met Suzanne, it's like, can our personalities get along together? Can we work? Because it's a big responsibility. You're not just, you know, selling a gown is an investment, it's an emotional thing. It's a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So we're, you know, taking our steps slowly and working together, and it's great. So you know, we sit and have discussions about what, you know, I can bring to Volles and how Volles can help me. So it's really a team coming together is the way that I look at it. And I'm just, being patient with the process. That's how I like to move. I like to take my time. And, we have jewelry here, veils. So brides can really personalize their look with me at Volleys, which is really awesome because a lot of times, girls want that voice to be like, you know what, I want this, or I want the bracelet to have 2 strands, not 3, or, so that's really important, I think, because when I had my store and I was carrying other designers, I was really, really listening to the bride, and I always do. I may not look like it, but I pay attention. So, very true. I think that's, I think that's how our, success is going to keep to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Awesome work, ladies. Well, what a cool union, and how a entrepreneur that leaves the corporate world meets an entrepreneur that brings her into the stable and becomes an intrapreneur. What a nice success story that is building here. And on Go for CEO, we're going to track you every 6 months or so. We'd love to have you back on and keep on getting this rhythm. So Suzanne, let's jump back to you as the CEO, right? You're wearing this hat, you got marketing, you got operations, you got employees. What do you think was the next thing? I'd love to figure out, was it employees and trying to figure out kind of your next level strategies with employees? Or did you think about marketing and how you were going to kind of get back into the neighborhoods and share the Volleys story, but now with a new ownership perspective?
Yeah, I will say we have been very lucky here at Volleys, and I'm quite grateful. We have an amazing staff that has an amazing longevity. We have great people here that we love. And so that has been, knock on wood, our sort of an easier flow. And I also feel that the learnings I've brought from, again, corporate America and doing things differently with the employee in mind, because they are your biggest asset, are the staff who was with the previous owners really see and feel that. And they have actually said many things to me, which is, that's the best thing ever, right? Like, it's all about partnership. I love partnering. I always have. So, and you have to partner with your employees as well. So that's been easy of all the things.
Yeah.
And then, yes, marketing would definitely be our next step. So we found a lot of efficiencies. The POS system really just changed our lives. Again, understanding the inventory and not being terribly emotional over it with still having emotion. I don't know how to explain that unless you're here. Yeah. With brides in dresses, you get it. So marketing, again, I think Volleys has an amazing reputation. Again, it has that 50-year, longevity. We've been doing this a long time. We've made incredible experience to build on. But you can get, again, a bit complacent. I hate that word, but it's the best word. So we are driving our marketing forward. We're having a stronger Instagram campaign, a stronger Facebook campaign. We're on Google in a very earnest way, and we are the most reviewed bridal store on Google. So other bridal stores have the same maybe rating as we do, but they don't have the into the hundreds reviews that we have. So that's something we're very, very proud of. So marketing, I would say, is our next. It was our next journey and will continue to constantly be the next journey.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, things are evolving, right? The younger generation, as they start to get ready to get married. And I think the sentiment of a woman's journey or whoever does kind of, want to get married, is similar maybe in some senses, but it's very unique to themselves and how they're searching possibly. Can you tell us a little bit about, just to kind of go a little bit deeper? I know you, have some trade secrets maybe you don't want to give out, but share with us a little bit of some of that strategy on social. I've seen some pictures. I know there's some collaboration with what Victoria's, IG, Instagram had already. I've kind of seen that collaboration as I did some homework on you guys. What are some areas that you think you're going to be developing more, and what can the audience, expect over the next 6 months or so to see on social?
Well, that's a tricky question without giving away our secrets. This year, especially, you're going to see a lot more of us pointing to our 50th anniversary, because that is such a huge milestone, especially in this industry. We're just going to continue on to get more involved with our customer and, tell us what you think. And we can't wait to hear your opinion, and we can't wait to show you more. We're very excited to be part of a program which is called Brides Across America, which gives dresses away to military and first responders. So we were on the news with that in November, and we plan on doing that again continually. Victoria has also helped us. We had our own marketing where we gave a dress, one of Victoria's beautiful, beautiful dresses, away to a first responder as well. And keep an eye out for that on our Instagram as well as our Facebook. Just that's going to be our communication. So you want to know about Volles, go to Instagram, go to Facebook. We're on TikTok now too. Check out our Google site as well. And just continuing to work with our brides as well. Of like, we have a lot of brides that get married and then they tag us, and we love that. So, that's another piece that we're developing.
Now, has that part of the business been something that kind of will mix in a little bit employee talk and marketing talk? Is that just another hat that you're wearing, Suzanne, or did you outsource that to maybe a vendor, or have you kind of had to tackle that yourself?
We actually have two amazing stylists here that are also our social media gurus. And they have taken it on and they love it. And I love what they're doing. And then, obviously we continue to collaborate on that. And we do a lot of training, quite honestly, like if Instagram has a training, we do it. If, there's a lot of bridal training within the industry. So we take on that training too. Like, we're not afraid to say we need to know more and we need to learn more. You can't be afraid of that. You can't be in this position and assume you know everything. You can't.
You're always learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could tell you stories from 2005. They're ancient now.
Right.
They don't matter. They're not relevant.
Yeah. So, or to your point, from my first 30, 60, 90 days, so much has changed, especially with COVID. And I think we all know that if you can't pivot, you can't survive, period.
100%. Yeah. Pivoting has been a big thing in my last probably 5 or 10 interviews of just entrepreneurs, sharing some of their ways that they went to video, or some of the ways that they went on social, or some of the ways that they, scaled down some things, but also became very efficient in their spending of their money and that type of thing. So awesome. Well, look, over the next 6 to 12 months, I'd love for you, Suzanne, to share, and Victoria, if you want to collaborate here, what does this journey look like for you? And what are you guys thinking, Volles is going to kind of explode? Are you thinking of another location at all, or any scalability side of things, just to kind of set a little bit of the parameters? And then as we wind down the interview, I'll share with you, obviously, the questions that we like to end with, which is client experience, employee engagement, and operational excellence for the Go for CEO mindset. So tell us a little bit about a little window into the next 6 to 12 months.
I would say it's very focused on our relationship and developing Victoria's brand and Victoria's brand at Volles, and just working together on that collaboration, to use that word again, and just continuing to focus and learn from our brides. We are seeing a lot of shifts because of COVID, and ensuring that Volles is a happy, celebratory, safe place to come right now. People don't want to stop their lives. They want to celebrate. And a lot of these couples aren't getting to do that in the way that couples did 2 years ago. And we are consistently ensuring that you can come to Volles and you can celebrate that in the exact same way. You know, maybe you have a mask on, obviously not maybe, you have a mask on, but we're still going to be excited, and we're still going to talk about all the things and how exciting it is that you are in this, you know, momentous time in your life. So we're all about celebrating.
Anything to add, Victoria, to that?
Well, I think that because of COVID, the way that weddings are going to happen or happening have shifted tremendously. And I don't know, as a designer, you have to be very versatile with your collection. You know, I had a signature look that I was always stuck with and loved it, and I could do it. But now I'm, you know, going on another path, you know, where now I'm like, you know what, something a little more relaxed, or, you know, colorful, or more of a celebration dress. Even though wedding is a celebration, we don't say it's your celebration day, it's your wedding day. But I feel like because we've been on lockdown for a long time, I just feel like everyone's gonna want to party. So, you know, interchangeable gowns or short dress, you know, people are doing like everything. I mean, back in '05 when I opened, the very traditional look, strapless, okay, and you know, they had a ball gown with some, you know, detail on the hem. So today, a bride is all over the board. So like, there's too many options. People are getting married in all kinds of places. So I just keep thinking, like, what I see is that people are gonna become more unique, and it's not gonna just be a gown like a traditional, short one, colored one. I mean, so that's how I see things. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep developing. But I think I have some ideas that I shared with Dad. I'm not telling you right now. Happened. And so, you know, because, you know, I don't like to talk about things ahead of this time. So, you know, I just think that you will see all designers, we're just going to keep adapting to different things. But what I like is that I can do it faster, and that I can communicate with the bride. I've had a couple brides already for the season. Yeah. The next couple of months that are doing custom and all kinds of things. So it's cool.
I love it. I love it. Well, look, you know, throughout this conversation, I think you guys have shared just such golden nuggets, right? From the beginning stages of even just looking for a business that you're going to purchase, to the beginning stages of buying a business, getting involved, the first 90 days to 6 months, then finding a union between a current entrepreneur that wanted to become an intrapreneur and just explore, you know, your talents, and coming back with a CEO like Suzanne to just kind of mesh and really complement each other. So let's go into the last questions that we usually do at the Go for CEO channel, just to kind of give everybody a perspective. A value proposition is just kind of what makes you differentiate yourself at your business. So we love to explore the C, which is a client experience. So, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, Suzanne, but from your you know, point of view, what is the value proposition that Volles Bridal brings to the table when you think about client experience?
So I think the client experience here is what I like to call approachable luxury. So you're going to have a very personal, very cheerful, very, not very, but like an emotional experience, right? Buying a wedding dress is an emotional experience. And we are going to guide you through that. You are going to feel like you have a partner in your stylist here, as well as the company as a whole. You know, we're with you every step of the way because we have an alterations department and we understand all the different aspects of it. So that's what you're going to get. Again, approachable luxuries. You're going to feel comfortable. You're going to, you know, feel heard, but you're going to have that special boutique experience where you can go full couture and full custom with someone like with Victoria. Or if maybe that's not your jam, we have plenty of other options, and you're still going to have this lovely, elegant experience. So that's what I would say we bring to what our concentration is with our clients.
Exciting, exciting. Now, when we think about E, which is employee engagement, and you kind of shared a little bit of it as well, but I want to take this opportunity, since I have an entrepreneur and now converted intrapreneur, why don't you both give me a perspective of what employee engagement means to you guys both? If you could take 30 seconds each, maybe.
Oh, me too first. Okay. So employee engagement for me is making sure that my employees are happy and heard and feel valued, because they all are. And I think some of the way I like to do that is obviously to have one-on-ones and be there for them. In addition, I like to offer trainings, because to me, it's just every day, it's all about bettering yourself. And if you can have a better experience as an employee with a client, then that client's just going to be happy and reflect that back to you. And then you're going to be happy and reflect that forward. So it's like this constant give and take, bounce back effect that just goes all around. So,
yeah. So for me, from a design perspective, you know, what Suzanne and I are working on is I want to give the employees the tools to really complete the look for the bride and give them more options. Because I've been on that end where, you know, I would have to call New York and be like, oh, I don't know if it's neckline, or let me see, there's be more. You know, I want to give them the tools that when a customer walks in, you know, like Suzanne said, you know, they might not want mine, they might want it, you know, they have a variety, so they can answer a lot of questions for brides and fulfill their needs, right? So for me, what I want to give the Volles and the employees is just the ability to be able to complete the sale, or if there's something, because there's all kinds of requests. So with the jewelry and the veil, even if you don't buy a gown from my collection, well, guess what? You can do a custom veil, you can do custom jewelry, and I think that's a really awesome. So it gives the stylist ability to be a little more creative with their brides, and that's not offered everywhere. I don't know where it's at. Right? I don't. Yeah.
And I think what I'm hearing a lot is, you know, teamwork, right? And developing strategies also that, you know, after everything's said and done, you are a business, you are a for-profit business. So finding ways that you could all teamwork and to really share with that bride, you know, gosh, this extra little, you know, bracelet or this other, you know, feature will enhance the beauty of your experience, and also enhances the revenue that, you know, Volles Bridal brings into the table. And I'm sure next episode we'll get into maybe some of those ways of strategically kind of arranging those incentive programs for employees and all that type of stuff. So the last one here as we wrap up is operational excellence. You know, you've shared a few different ways that your mind works, Suzanne, coming from that PM perspective and corporate side. What is kind of that 30-second, you know, high level value prop of Volles Bridal and how you're running your business at the operational excellence side?
That's hard. I would say we I don't know. I would go back to just our efficiencies and understanding our product, and therefore, you know, not feeling we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. And I think that reflects all the way down. And I think that our clients and customers feel that every day. So, you know, we're just trying to make dreams come true here. And we know how to do that.
I love it. And look, you know, I think a lot of that perspective comes from, you know, everything that you've done in the past, the last 2.5 years that you've been in business, this marriage of union of an entrepreneur, intrapreneur. What a great success story. And here at the Go for CEO channel, ladies and gentlemen, come back, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Forgot to say that at the beginning, but hey, you know, exciting news, you know, when you bring on Volles Bridal and such an entrepreneurial spirit, people that went from corporate to owning a business, people went from business to going inside of it and still being entrepreneurial, but an intrapreneur perspective. That's what we have today. So leave a comment for Victoria and for Suzanne. And you know, there'll be some information about Volles Bridal. Is there any last words that either of you would like to share, or both of you, with the Go for CEO community?
Just celebrate love. Let's just do it, right? Let's just celebrate love. Move forward and celebrate.
Awesome. Anything from you, Victoria?
Yes, we do. We love
what we do.
I love it. I love it. And it shines through. You know, I love the background, just the energy, the way that you guys have just shared today. And I'm so grateful for you guys to come on board. I know we had a good time perspective to get on. I hope that I leave you with just the opportunity that in 6 months, we're going to come back with you and we're going to check in and see, and hopefully build a tribe on the Go for CEO channel that is just waiting to find out what Suzanne and Victoria, and we'll give Chad a little bit of a plug too, Chad and what he does as well as the VP, not the CEO. So,
Yeah.
but awesome, guys. Well, hey, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, again, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I know Victoria and Suzanne will be looking out for some comments and some interactions. We're going to put this on obviously YouTube, which is where we're on. We have a podcast on Anchor, and we'll also be on LinkedIn and share with it on Instagram as well. So thank you so much, ladies, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, John. Bye.